Hi. All right, let's do a little walk and talk. And what I want to talk about is just a little bit about this pickle, this conundrum that we've all got ourselves into. You see, we went through all of evolution, all of it, not just human evolution, not just the time that we've been, running around on 2 feet and throwing spears at mammoths, but like the whole thing. Outside in environments that we did not create for ourselves, really. Outside of like a hut or something, right? And the context that we've created for ourselves now in modern time is really weird. For example, I'm in this amazing park. I love this park. But even here, I'm walking on this flat, hard, level path. And just take a moment to think about how much of our lives we spend on hard, flat, and level surfaces, and how almost impossible that is in a natural environment that wasn't, made by people. Outside of like some salt flat in a desert or something. They just didn't exist. And so we move ourselves around all day on these hard, flat, and level surfaces. And that's just one little, just a tiny, tiny fraction of the ways in which we have created a context for our existence that is, well, it's very unfamiliar to our biology, and it causes problems. So on the hard, flat, and level topic, that means that everywhere we go, all day long, we are not giving our body, say our feet, the ankles, knees, and hips, everything, we're not giving it the stimuli that it is expecting to receive. And so it's adapting to that hard, flat, and level in such a way that makes our joints, well, it makes them only just strong enough to do that. And so then when we get out of that context, we don't have the strength or the skill, the body skill, to not injure ourselves. And that's where you see people that are afraid of moving in any sort of dynamic way and on natural surfaces. It's insane how dependent we are on these manicured surfaces just to not hurt ourselves. Imagine just for a moment that if birds had to manufacture the perfectly still, no wind air in order to fly. Like if they couldn't handle any sort of natural wind, they had to have completely still air, otherwise they might hurt themselves. Like that'd be kind of weird, right? But we can take it further. Not only do they have to make perfectly still air that doesn't blow them around at all, no turbulence. Not only that, but they have to wear some sort of wing covering, a protective, stiffening wing covering akin to a shoe. And if they didn't have that, then flying in air, even that perfectly still, zero turbulence air, that would hurt their wings. Imagine just how ridiculous is that? If you came across a species of bird that couldn't fly when there's any wind at all and had to wear some sort of weird wing shoe Otherwise, they would hurt themselves. You'd be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with that bird? Like, that is a weak bird. That is an embarrassment to birds everywhere, right? And yet, that's exactly what we've done. That's what we've done to ourselves. We've created this scenario where we are allowed to be so weak, and we're maladapted to this, well, this curated environment. So if that's not an own goal, I don't know what is. And it's a real problem, and it's one that we're not getting out of anytime soon, because the weaker we get, the more we want our environment to conform to our expectations, which are our expectations are one of comfort and luxury. And there's so little incentive to step outside of that. So what do we do? How do you get out of that? Like, if you don't want to be that bird that can't fly out in natural open air where there's wind and has to wear these special wing shoes, otherwise they might hurt their tender little feathers. If you don't want to be that, well, then you have to start looking for ways to get out of that system. You have to start, bucking the trend a little bit. And that's awkward, because then you're the weirdo. You're the weirdo, walking barefoot in places and avoiding always taking the easy route on everything. Now, I'm saying this knowing full well that I am currently walking on that hard, flat, and level path. I am actually wearing shoes right now, but I know that in order to achieve a better result than average, I have to do things that are different, and I have to start looking at my world, my existence, the places I go, the things that I do. I have to start looking at them and go, how can I do that differently? Can I modify this scenario that's in front of me so that my body is then getting what it needs to be what it was built to be? Because we weren't built to do this. We weren't built to walk everywhere on this hard, flat, and level ground, ride in cars, everything. All of the things, going to a supermarket for our food. It's all, oh man, the lengths to which we go to avoid almost everything. Well, all I can say is I don't like where the graph is going. I don't like where we're headed. I can see it. I can see the trend here. And I mean, it's WALL-E, right? I mean, that's WALL-E. WALL-E mixed with Idiocracy. Whew. So we're in a pickle because we've got all this luxury, all this comfort, and it's selling us short. And when we do that, our bodies, us, we suffer. We think that we're doing it for our own good because it feels good in the moment. It's the easiest option, but it's actually hurting us. It hurts us physically and mentally. It's robbing our bodies of the physical input that they are designed to get, and that in getting, they actually perform the maintenance and healing jobs that the bodies need to do. And then our mental health is supported by, complex movement, outdoors, getting all the social things that we need. Like there's a whole there's a whole picture, a 360-degree picture of what our biology is expecting to get. And when it gets an incomplete picture, we start feeling, performing poorly. And, I don't like it. But it requires the acknowledgement. You have to know, you have to see it. You have to see what it's doing to you and to everyone around you, and really, really feel it. Like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't want my joints to be in constant pain and preventing me from playing. I don't want to be stressed out and grumpy all the time. I want to feel, look, and perform top notch. And so, you gotta start doing things differently, different from how everyone else is doing it. And that's so hard because we are just wired to try and fit in. We don't want to stand out. We don't want to be the weirdo. But you have to choose. Would you rather be normal and sick, or weird and feeling great? I don't know. I can't tell you what you should want. But boy, that choice is easy for me. So I do things that are, sometimes they're a little weird, and and it ends up being fun in the end. I can laugh at myself if I'm the one, walking around on natural surfaces barefoot, or crawling or climbing in trees and things like that. I'll take it though, because it feels good, and it is good, and it's something we need, and it's worth exploring. So I just wanted to chat on it. There's so many different angles that you can approach that whole topic from. I was just walking on this paved path and thinking about it. So I'm gonna leave it there, and thank you for joining me on my walk, and I'll see you next time.